Imagine rolling up to your grandfather's century-old ranch after a grueling cross-country job, only to find sheriff's deputies barricading your driveway while your HOA president smirks like a queen. Directing movers to haul away your heirloom tractor as auction signs scream foreclosure sale today. Your heart drops like a stone in a well. Neighbors gawking with phones out. And the air thick with diesel exhaust and betrayal. Welcome to the nightmare that turned into sweet, savage justice. In the sleepy outskirts of Willow Creek, Texas, where manicured lawns met stubborn farmland, lived Tom Riley, a 48-year-old soil expert who'd inherited his family's 35-acre spread from his dad, who'd gotten it from his granddad back in the Dust Bowl days. Tom was the quiet type, divorced, no kids, always on the road consulting for big AG firms, testing dirt from Kansas to California. He kept the place humming with a few cows, some chickens, and an old John Deere that coughed more than it plowed. The ranch sat smack against the edge of Evergreen Estates, a cookie-cutter HOA neighborhood that popped up in the 90s like weeds after rain. Tom's land was grandfathered in, exempt from their nitpicky rules. But that didn't stop Gloria Vance, the HOA queen bee, from turning his life into a bureaucratic circus. Gloria was 55. A former insurance adjuster who'd clawed her way to HOA president 5 years running. She drove a shiny black Escalade, always with that pearl necklace choking her like a noose of fake class, spouting community standards like gospel while her eyes darted for any infraction. Behind the scenes, she was a control freak, terrified of losing her throne to some upstart neighbor with actual ideas. Oh, honey, she'd coo at meetings. We're just keeping things nice for everyone's property values, but her fines hit like hammers, and her emails read like passive-aggressive sermons. Tom had ignored the early warning signs, the stares over the fence, the whispers at the gas station about that eyesore farm dragging down resale prices. Then the certified letters started arriving, each one a paper cut to his patience. $200 fine for unsightly agricultural equipment, another for excessive animal noise from his rooster crowing at dawn. Tom crumpled them up, tossed them in the trash, and kept his head down, observing how Gloria twisted facts like pretzels to rally her minions. One crisp fall morning, Tom pulled into his driveway after a quick soil gig in Oklahoma. And there it was, a gaudy sign staked in his front yard declaring HOA lien enforcement, auction pending. Gloria stood there, arms crossed, her lips pursed in that holier-than-thou smile, chatting with a burly tow truck driver like they were old pals. "Mr. Riley," she called out sweetly as he stepped from his truck, gravel crunching under his boots. "We've had to take action. Your property's become a blight, abandoned equipment, overgrown weeds. It's for the greater good." Tom's jaw tightened, but he didn't snap. Instead, he nodded politely, snapped a photo of the sign with his phone, and walked inside, the scent of fresh hay mocking the chaos outside. Neighbors like old Mr. and Mrs. Patel, who'd bought eggs from him for years, averted their eyes, mumbling about not wanting trouble. That night, alone in his kitchen with a lukewarm beer, Tom started digging, not dirt, but records, county deeds, HOA bylaws, all online. He found his exemption crystal clear, but Gloria's letters claimed it lapsed upon inheritance. Bull, he thought. But he stayed silent, watching her next move like a hawk eyeing a snake. The whispers turned to roars when Gloria called an emergency HOA meeting, notice buried in a weekday email blast most folks missed. Only her loyal flock showed, the board, a gaggle of yes-men who'd vote for anything to avoid her wrath. "Folks," Gloria intoned, Her voice dripping honeyed venom over the Zoom call Tom secretly tuned into via a neighbor's login. Mr. Riley's farm is a hazard. Loose animals. Fire risks from that rickety barn. We've assessed a $5,000 lien to encourage compliance. Gasps from the few attendees. But no pushback. Tom felt the burn in his gut. But he smiled faintly. Her evidence was doctored photos of his fence during a rainstorm, making it look collapsed. Abandoned, he muttered to himself. I've got automated feeders running smoother than your Botox. Gloria. The next day. Fines doubled, $400 daily for non-residential activity. Rumors flew. Tom was squatting, dumping chemicals, scaring kids with stray cows. Gloria's Facebook posts were masterpieces of shade. Sad to see one bad apple spoiling our beautiful community. Standards matter. Tom bit his tongue. Documented every lie. And reached out quietly to a lawyer buddy from college. Laying groundwork without a peep. Tensions simmered to a boil when Tom's big contract hit, a 3-week soil survey in Montana. Fat paycheck to cover the mounting legal prep. He arranged for neighbor Ed Ramirez to check the animals. Kissed his old mutt goodbye. And hit the road. What he didn't know. Gloria had been spying. Timing his mail. Noting his truckloads. He's fleeing, she whispered to her board over coffee. Eyes gleaming. Perfect time to enforce. 2 days in. Ed called. Tom. She's at it again. Emergency meeting last night. Claimed your place is deserted. Animals starving. Passed a resolution to seize an auction if unpaid. Tom's knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. Montana mountains blurring past. Starving? Those cows are fatter than her ego. Back home. Gloria ramped up. Anonymous tips to animal control about neglect. Code enforcement vans circling his property like vultures. She even penned a neighborhood newsletter, protecting our values from rural relics. Join the petition. Signatures poured in from scared newcomers. While old-timers like the Patels whispered support but stayed mum. Fined for overgrown hedges after speaking up once. Tom cut the trip short. Racing back under cover of night. But not before uncovering the rot. Gloria's daughter married to a developer. Vance Properties. Who'd bought adjacent lots. Emails leaked via a disgruntled board member, Gloria promising to clear the obstacle for a cut. This isn't about rules, Tom realized. Printing the chain in his motel room. Fluorescent lights buzzing like his rage. It's a land grab. Gloria escalated. Her politeness cracking, drive-bys at midnight. Flash photos of deterioration she staged by loosening fence wires herself. Oh. Mr. Riley, she cornered him at the grocery store. Voice syrupy but eyes sharp. Why fight? Sell and move on. Think of the children avoiding your rusty hazards. Tom smiled thinly. Gloria. My hazards feed half this block's omelets. But sure. Kids hate fresh eggs. Her face twitched. But she laughed it off. Just enforcing standards. Dear. Fines hit $15,000, his bank called about devalued collateral. Neighbors split, some boycotted her meetings. Others parroted her fears. Tom stayed cool. Gathering affidavits. Camera footage of her trespasses. Turning her weapons against her. The powder keg ignited when Gloria filed for auction. Claiming chronic abandonment during Tom's extended absence. She coordinated with her son-in-law's crew, fake condemnation stickers slapped on his barn at 2 a.m. Irrigation lines cut to flood fields for neglect pics. But Tom had anticipated, hidden cams rolling. A sting set with Ed wired up. Tell animal control he's gone, Gloria hissed to Ed in his driveway. Slipping an envelope. $5,000 says you saw starving livestock. Ed's voice steady, ma'am. I'd sooner eat my hat than lie for your scam. The recording hit like a bomb. Tom burst into the HOA hearing unannounced. Evidence binders slamming the table. "Ladies and gents," he said calmly. Projector flickering to life. "Meet the real blight, Gloria Vance. HOA fraudster extraordinaire." Videos played, her midnight sabotage. Bribery attempt. Emails plotting the grab. Gloria's face went from smug to scarlet. Stammering. "This is misinterpreted. I'm protecting values." The room erupted in laughs and boos, her boards scattered like rats. "Protecting your wallet. You mean," Tom quipped. "While vandalizing my pipes. Classy." Judge halted the auction. Ordered investigations. Gloria's "oh honey" facade shattered, she fled the room. Pearls clacking. As reporters swarmed. In the fallout, Gloria's empire crumbled like cheap drywall. FBI raids uncovered the full scheme: kickbacks, forged docs, $200,000 in laundered fees. She got 24 months for fraud and conspiracy. Her Escalade seized. House foreclosed, irony thick as Texas barbecue sauce. Her son-in-law's firm tanked. Development scrapped for conservation land. The HOA dissolved. Refunds flowing to harassed neighbors. Tom's ranch? Thriving. Now a community hub with gardens and AG classes. Values up 15% without her standards. Neighbors apologized in droves. "We were scared, Mrs. Patel said, handing him fresh curry. "But you showed us, patience beats bullies." Tom walked his fields at dusk. Hay sweet in the air. Touching his granddad's carved fence post. He'd observed. Endured. Then struck with surgical truth. Turning her lopsided rules into her noose. Grandpa would have chuckled at the poetic justice. But here's the kicker: was Gloria the real villain? Or just a symptom of HOA hell where community means control freaks cashing in? Drop your take below, right or wrong. And who's the true blight in suburbia?